Hey everybody, it's October 10th. Tonight's Henno Goes to meeting is planning and zoning. So I'll get back to you when I get out. Okay, planning and zoning. So I didn't get a chance to record afterwards because I had to rush down to a Parks and Lands Committee meeting. So I'm doing it later now, and Jax is going to help out. See? Say hi, Jax. Oh, just a good boy. That's my little teddy bear. The meeting was great. I got to meet all the committee members were there, planning and zoning. It was great to meet them all. These guys really take their job seriously. I should say guys and ladies, because the chair is Janet, who is a friend of mine, and it was great to see her doing her thing, running the meeting. There was a development. The buildings haven't been decided on yet, but it was the final plat approval. And there were some homeowners there that were concerned about some of the layout of some things. And it was fascinating they had the developer's representative there, and who did their presentation, answered any questions of the planning and zoning committee members. And then the public had a chance to comment, but they all got to make their comments, and then they had to wait, and then the owner gave their answers. And there was an issue with a property line that had been misplaced a long time ago, and so a fence is going to have to be moved. And the woman whose property it is, she's very concerned about it because she has plants there and irrigation and her fence line, and the owner was great. They like, we're going to pay for moving the fence, we're going to pay for moving the irrigation, and there was a suggestion by one of the planning and zoning members that maybe some extra plants might get planted as well, and they were very much into it. What was really neat is the character. It was nice to see that a developer was willing to stay within the feel of the neighborhood as it exists already. They could definitely put a lot more units on this piece of land, but they've decided to make each of the houses, I think it's going to be 5, the same style and size as what's already there in the neighborhood, so it fits in. And I think everyone seemed to be relatively happy in this. It was obviously an unfortunate situation. Then things got really dry and boring, but really informative. For FEMA, for the flood prone areas, there is a separate code. The city has a completely separate building code for any sort of repairs and building in the floodplain areas. And next year, FEMA will be coming to the city and doing inspections of those floodplain areas. And the existing code is not quite up to their current basically rules. Also, the standards of Idaho for floodplain areas. So our city staff has gone through and has pretty much rewritten them all. And the P&Z has to review this entire document line by line. And they did 7 pages of just definitions. And I sat through it all. I found it fascinating. Lisa Horowitz printed me off a copy so I could follow along. I learned so much. And what I've really learned is a lot of work goes in. The city does a lot of work to make sure that a minority of our population has the protections available to them through the FEMA flood insurance program. And there are some things that they do that actually save those owners a little bit of money on their insurance rates. And that was really interesting to see how this works and see how our city, there's things that the city does that I don't think, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. And I even asked the question, like, well, what would happen if the city decided not to do this? And then pretty much if they didn't update these things, then FEMA could restrict the money that would be available to these owners to improve their properties in the case of 2 floods within a 10-year span. So learning more, and then I found out that there's a 45-unit development coming up next month it's not all going to be done at once. It's going to be probably done in phases. The initial, I think, plat mapping, and quickly is going to come before the planning and zoning in December. So I'm definitely going to go to that. It should be interesting discussion with that. It's going to be, I think, the first kind of layout. So that's about it. And next is going to be parks and lands.